Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful morning. Beautiful morning. Beautiful, beautiful.
Ah, you got me on Baker and Brady lost and Mahomes and Rodgers did win. But all that mattered yesterday was how about them Cowboys?
No.
They are back.
Oh, they're back now.
Back in the saddle. Back in contention for that solo #1 seed in the NFC. Here we come, baby.
I'm just trying to figure you're the only guy that could do this. Managed to lose like 3 other games and just make the one game that you won.
All that matters is this team.
What about OU?
Huh? What about them? What about them? That was Saturday. That was ages ago.
How dare you say that?
Okay, what about OU? Okay, I remember you said that.
Yeah. I mean, Lincoln Riley should be fired. He should be fired, but that's beside
That's a shame. You have a good
Yes, his Cowboys got the win, and the Vikings got the win. I can at least say that today.
Yeah.
But I know we have to talk about the Cowboys because they won, and they won big. After a poor showing last week, the Cowboys were clicking on all cylinders as they won 43-3 against the Falcons. Dak Prescott scored 3 total touchdowns in a game where Dallas dominated in all 3 phases, and the Cowboys improved to 7-2, just a half game back for the best record in the NFC. Shannon, scale of 1 to 10, how impressed were you? Be honest, Shannon.
I see you guys haven't learned your lesson, still letting the Dak Prescott play late in the ball game. But I gave him a 2.
A 2?
I gave him a 2, Skip.
Huh.
And the only reason I gave them a 2 is that they did what they were supposed to against a really bad football team.
Really? I got to get a new TV.
No, you don't. Because here's what the Atlanta Falcons rank. They're last in sacks. They're second to last in QB hits. They're 28th in scoring. They're 27th in takeaway. Only 2 teams allow a team to convert third downs better than the Atlanta Falcons. That's what you were up against. I would like to think after that shellacking, that lambasting that you took last week, I would hope you come out motivated. I would really hope so. And then you're playing Calvin Ridley, still their best player. He hasn't been there in a long, long time.
So I think Kyle Pitts is their best player, but go ahead.
Okay. We'll disagree. Kyle Pitts may be on his way to becoming, but I think Calvin Ridley right now is a better player. But that's neither here nor there, Skip. But come on, Skip. Atlanta, this is who they beat. They beat the Giants. You like the Giants?
Yeah, they're coming along. Have you been watching lately?
Oh, goodness. Now they're coming along.
Well, they wiped out Carolina, and then they beat the Raiders. I don't know. They're starting to come alive.
This is what you do. And this is what you tried to get me to do, but I was very steadfast. You tried to get me to there's a reason why FoxBet and the Vegas book houses had them as a double-digit underdog. And they never moved off of that. It did move. Let me take that back. It moved from 10.5 to 9.5.
Yeah.
So in other words, they were still a touchdown, a 2-score ball game. And what you tried to do is that you tried to build it up. Because if the Cowboys win, you're like, they beat a good team. They beat the Falcons. No, they didn't. They beat a bad team. And that was a bad team that they played yesterday. I gave them a 2 because that's what you're supposed to do to bad teams, which is beat them. But let's not get carried away. I didn't dump sand on them last week. I didn't say Vic Fangio found a blueprint.
I think you ridiculed them last week.
I did.
Yeah. I think you dumped sand all over them. You dumped manure all over them is what you dumped.
No, that's what they left on the field last week. That's what I didn't do that. But Skip, come on now. Give the Cowboys credit. The Cowboys, the offense, they got it going early. They got it going often against a very bad defensive team. And the Cowboys, what we know is that once they get you behind the 8 ball, they get an opportunity to pin their ears back. They can come get you. They front run as good as anybody. You know that. I know that. But I gave them a 2. I'm not finna go both feet on the bandwagon. It's like, oh, yeah, they back. They about to go to the Super Bowl. Because I still have them behind. If I look at the Packers, they let their defense looking real good. And I'm still believing. Now, if the Rams come out here and play like I think they're going to play tonight, I still would have your Cowboys behind the Rams. Arizona have not had Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins the last 2 games. They would be behind the Arizona Cardinals. So at best case, and under the best scenario that I can surmise, your Cowboys would be the 4th or the 5th best team in the NFC. So temper expectations down. Let it go. I mean, I don't want you to, you was on suicide watch last week, but I gave them a 2, and I ain't moving. I don't care what you say.
Okay, my turn. I'm going to give my team on the respect scale of 1 to 10, on the impressive scale of 1 all the way up to 10. I'm giving them a 10 for yesterday. I'm saying that was an A++ performance.
Against the Falcons?
And right after the game, Jerry Jones was asked, when's the last time you can remember a better performance than the one you just saw? And he thought for a while, and he said, I can't remember. Neither can I. I saw nothing wrong yesterday after I saw everything wrong just 7 days before in the same stadium at home against your sorry Denver Broncos. I told you 1 week ago at this moment that it was an aberration. It was a blip because my team did not take your team, your old team, seriously enough. And they came in and allowed Vic Fangio to beat his chest and gloat about, we found the blueprint. He didn't actually use the term blueprint, but he basically said, we knew how to beat them. We knew how to shut them down. Well, maybe he needs to try to find a blueprint for shutting down Philadelphia at Denver yesterday, because you got your doors blown off at home by the Eagles, for whom you have little to no respect.
They got ran out of the...
Jalen Hurts lit you up yesterday. Devontae Smith ran you off your own field. Thank you very much, Vic Fangio, for lighting or relighting our fire. I wasn't sure how my team would bounce back. I thought it would bounce back mightily, but I'm going to remind everybody that the Atlanta Falcons had just gone to New Orleans, the same New Orleans who had just shut down Tom Brady in that same Superdome, and beat them 27-25. And guess what Matt Ryan did against that vaunted New Orleans defense that shut down Tom Brady? He threw for 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and led the week with a 94 QBR on a scale of 0 to 100. What did my defense do? The defense that you ridiculed all week, the defense that you said, I told you so, it got exposed. No, you got exposed yesterday by my defense because it shut down Matt Ryan, who thrown for 343 at New Orleans. Matt Ryan yesterday went from a 94 QBR at the Superdome to a 9 QBR at Jerry World. A 9 QBR? My defense rose and shone. I told you, my defense might not be star-studded, and we just lost our one on-the-rise Pro Bowler. I predicted before the year Randy Gregory would make the Pro Bowl, and he was right on Pro Bowl arc until the dreaded calf pull shut him down. And I don't know. He's not going to be able to play at Kansas City. Maybe he'll be able to play the next week. But he didn't play yesterday against a Matt Ryan that I thought would eat us up. Because if you give Matt Ryan time, he is still plenty good enough to wear you out, especially with Kyle Pitts finally having a coming out party at the Superdome. And here we went, and there you went. Your Atlanta Falcons, you still have a home in Atlanta, went 1 for 11 on third down. Yes. 1 for 11? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And would you believe Russell Gage, who had a really good game at New Orleans, would you believe he got shut out yesterday? He had 0 catches on 3 targets after he caught 6 for 74 at the Superdome. Wow. So all of a sudden, Micah Parsons, I keep telling you, he's the runaway defensive rookie of the year, but are we sure he's not in the conversation for defensive player of the year?
He might be.
Because he had another sack yesterday, and once again, he led them in tackles. He had 6 solo tackles. He had another tackle for loss. He is everywhere. I think it's Mahomes. They're going to Kansas City this coming Sunday. I think you just need to put his hand in the dirt. Just let him rush Mahomes because he's unblockable. He's becoming Charles Haley in the 1992 3-4 seasons for the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm saying, okay, what's not to love? How about Dak? He came off his worst game as a Dallas Cowboy, his worst ever career game. And what did he do? He came right out of the chute and looked like $1 million. No, check that. He looked like $75 million, which is what he's making this year because he was flawless from the start. Did he miss a throw all day?
He's playing a bottom feeder when it comes to defense.
Well,
if there's something ailing your offense, one of the things that the doctor is going to dial up and says, okay, call the Atlanta Falcons and check back with me after the next week. And that's exactly what happened. Skip, you know the Falcons aren't any good. Now, you told me last year, I remember it was a Sunday night game, when you guys did a demolition on the Philadelphia Eagles on a Sunday night. You remember that game? You said that had been the most impressive game, considering what the Eagles were representing.
Yep.
Now you beat the Atlanta Falcons, who are bottom feeders. They're not going anywhere. They're going to get a top 10 draft pick. You know that, I know that. Now you come out here hooting and hollering, crowing.
They came in hot. They came in super confident. They came in thinking we have turned the corner. And what happened? If we could see what started to happen, how about the first 3rd and 6 from the Atlanta 13? Can we see this play, please? This started it off. Dak says, I got this because I got guess who? Who is my favorite receiver? Who have I told you from the start of the year has become Dallas's #1 receiver? Who is the go-to? It's 88, who is wearing that number proudly. 88. It's Thor to 88. It's becoming like Aikman to Irvin back in the day, right?
Yeah,
8 to 88.
I don't even know what, I don't know, at this DB, I don't know what he's doing.
Okay, and yet, what was the biggest change yesterday? Would you believe Cedric Wilson had a banged-up shoulder during the week, and he was still active for the game? He played 1 snap. What did that mean? That CeeDee Lamb went from wide receiver to slot receiver, where he was as a rookie last year, and Atlanta could not cover him as the slot receiver. That's a key change, and I love what little Ced did for this team over all those games that Gallup was missing, but Michael Gallup was back yesterday, and all of a sudden, CeeDee goes to the slot, and CeeDee was uncoverable.
Yeah, Skip, I mean, he's getting the 3rd or 4th receiver, DB that's covering him, so I hope he be uncoverable.
Okay, I love that. So then let's switch it around to your Atlanta Falcons. They quickly faced, it's a 7-3 game. They face a 4th and 7 at the Dallas 32. And what does Arthur Smith do? He says, I'm going to go for this. What did he say after the game? We knew how explosive Dallas was on offense, so we just decided we got to go for broke.
Right.
And basically, they went broke on this play because look what little Jordan Lewis did. Jordan Lewis might have had his best game as a DB. He had a great one against Drew Brees a couple of years back.
That's a curse.
Yeah. Except,
that's Jaron Curse.
Wait, I thought this was play Jordan Lewis. I'm not sure we have the right play. Because it was to Gage. It was to Gage, and Jordan Lewis jumped in front of him, knocked the ball down.
That was Curse there.
Okay, all right. So now let's move to the first Dallas. Remember, they went for it on 4th down against your Broncos, and they missed every time on 4th down.
That's exactly right.
Okay, here's the first 4th and 5 at the Atlanta 33. And who does Dak go to again? He goes to his slot receiver. Yep, there we go. And he breaks away. He's as good as run after the catch as you'll find in the league. And let's go to the next 4th and 3. The next 4th and 3 comes at the Dallas 25. And guess who is back this time? 4th and 3, where are you going to go? Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, that's still CeeDee. Let's go to, here we go. I remember this guy. I remember Dak moves. Boy, his calf looks just fine. Michael Gallup is back. So we finally have our 3-headed receiver monster back for the first time since opening night at Tampa Bay. Thank you.
In all those things that you showed, what did Dak have? Time.
Yep.
They weren't close to the quarterback.
Okay.
They're last in sacks. They're second to last in QB hits. So what do you expect? No team, only 2 teams allowed the opposing team to convert 3rd downs more than the Atlanta Falcons. And you're up here crowing about that.
I don't know how the Falcons beat the Saints at the Saints after the Saints had beaten the Bucs.
Well, you know what? We're about to find out. How did Washington football team lose and lose and lose and beat the GOAT?
We'll talk about that in just a minute. So you're acknowledging he's the GOAT, finally. Finally, you admitted it on live national TV. Thank you.
I'm just saying, Skip, you know the Falcons aren't any good. If they were any good, why did everybody have them as double-digit underdogs? And it didn't move.
They were 9-point.
Oh, wow. A 2-score game in the NFL.
Yep. Okay.
So what does that tell you, Skip?
Well, I don't know. People still buy into the Dallas Cowboys, but I was pretty nervous about this game. Okay. Well, you also predicted that the Cowboys would blow out the Broncos the week before. Were you right? No, you were dead wrong.
I also predicted they would blow out the Falcons. Was I right or was I dead right?
Yeah, I think you just hoped that you
Why would I hope?
Yeah, well, it covers you both ways. You could say, well, I thought they were, you know. Now let's go to the coup de grace, can we? It's 3rd and 7 at the Atlanta 9 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the half. And this is the play of the game for Dak Prescott because a blitzer, it's not a blitzer, just a pass rusher comes free right in his face, and he heaves it up to where he thinks that CD will go, and CD goes and nabs it right on the sideline. And that is the wipeout touchdown because that makes it 28-3. Right. Dallas winds up blocking a punt shortly thereafter and then goes for 2. And all of a sudden, it's a 36-3 halftime score. Skip,
I'll give you credit. That was a great throw. 0 blitz. They come with all of it.
They came with everything.
And Dak is throwing it to a point. And he's hoping that Amari's going to be at that point, and he arrived at the point the time the ball got there. So I give him credit for that.
Would you believe that Dallas went into the red zone 5 times yesterday? Yeah. And cashed in 5 times. Yes. 5 for 5 in the red zone. Atlanta got there 1 time and went 0 for 1. Again, Atlanta 1 for 11 on 3rd down. Hold
up. In the red zone, how many times you said he got in the red zone?
5.
And they cashed what? That was sum up where the team is last in sacks, 2nd in quarterback hits, 28th in scoring, 27th in takeaways, 30th on 3rd down conversion. That sounds about right. That's what normally happens. Teams go 5 for 5 to get in the red zone. And the end.
And guess who else is back? My former Defensive Player of the Year candidate who'd been a little quiet and been getting scorched the last couple of games, Trevon Diggs. Mid-3rd quarter, rose and shone again. And this might be the catch of the day for my Dallas Cowboys. If we could please see this interception. This is his 8th and 9th game.
Look at that. Skip, look at the guy on the rail. Skip. Look at the guy running scot-free for a touchdown up the rail.
Yeah, but look at Trevon. Look at him snag this ball. Look at the catch.
Look at this.
Look at the catch.
The guy had his hands up for a touchdown.
Look at the catch behind his head.
Look at this guy running scot-free for a touchdown.
He didn't have time.
So he had time to throw that, but he didn't. Skip, the guy got his hands up.
They're coming. He's about to get sacked. He's got to go for the underneath receiver. And what happens? What happens? Look at this catch. Over behind his head, running as fast as he can, snatches it behind his head. That's as good a catch as I saw from any wide receiver.
I'm not debating that. All I'm saying is that the guy leaves because he sees the blitz and he throws his hands up. Matt Ryan is hot. Matt Ryan misses him trying to throw the ball to Kyle Pitts.
Matt Ryan was about to get rocked right in his face.
Let me ask you a question.
I think it was old Diggy Zoo was coming right in his face.
Well, help me understand this. He was about to get rocked, but he had enough time to throw it to Pitts, but he didn't have enough time to miss the hot guy that was wide open as soon as he broke the line of scrimmage. I'm confused with the two.
Well, by then it was 36-3, so it didn't really matter that much, but we got Trevon Diggs back in the saddle, just like we got all 3 of our corners because everybody picked off a ball. Now we're going to Mahomes, and Jordan Lewis picked off a ball, and Anthony Brown picked off an interception, and Trevon Diggs is feeling better about himself. So here we go to Kansas City feeling pretty good because this team is really good on defense because it's got character. It's got backbone. It's got third down guts. 1 for 11.
What did we see? When this offense plays well with a lead and the defense can just play one phase of the game, they become good. If you look at time of possession, I think, how did Dallas do time of possession? 37 minutes to 22 minutes. So you keep the worst unit of your team on the sideline. Don't confuse that, Skip Bayless. You out here telling people, oh, my defense dominated. Yes, because they were fresh. They minimized the amount of snaps that they had an opportunity to play. Now, we're going to see Kansas City is a little better. We'll see if they can protect Mahomes like they protected him last night. If they protect Mahomes like you protected last night, I'm expecting a game like we saw that Monday night between the Rams and the Chiefs about 3-4 years ago, Mahomes' first year starting. I'm expecting a game like that because I will concede this. Both offenses are explosive. And so if I'm the Cowboys, I'm trying to run the ball because I don't think Mahomes played particularly great last night, but he still went 405 TDs. So you know what he's capable of.
Well, we'll debate that a little later because I didn't see what you saw.
You saw it. What's wrong with your TV and your eyes?
I got to get a new TV. I'll explain that later.
You must be streaming the game or something.
No, I'm not streaming the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually watching it very closely, and I'm seeing a very different game. And I saw a very different game from my Dallas Cowboys because I saw a team that can contend for the NFC Championship this year.
Skip, there is no prohibited favorite in any conference. There's nobody can say with any degree of certainty, after what they've seen over the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks, to say, okay, that team is definitely the number one, that's the best team in football, best team in that conference. That's the best team. Nobody can say that because we've seen things that we don't normally see. We saw the Rams get ramshackled by Tennessee. Tennessee's beaten 5 straight playoff teams from last year. They're starting to look good. But how far really can their defense played unbelievable. But when you go back and look at the NFC, and that's what we're talking about because that's where Dallas is located. Skip, look, if Green Bay continues, now they're going to get Zaire Smith back. Jair Alexander, he's trying to hold off on that surgery. I think they played without Kenny Clark yesterday. Those are their 3 best defensive players. If they get those guys back, Aaron Rodgers, you got your work cut out for you.
Until the playoffs start, and then you know what's going to happen. He's going to fold.
Oh, so that's what you're thinking,
He's going to be buried in Lambeau snow, as always.
You better hope it's not. Well, you better hope your Cowboys, because you know what happened the last time your Cowboys went to Lambeau Field. It was snowing. You remember that was 67. I don't know if you covered that game or not.
No,
but you didn't cover that game?
No.
But y'all got the brakes beat off you, right?
All I know is we did that yesterday without our all-pro left tackle. Tyron Smith did not play.
Right.
D-Law did not play because he's been out for a while. He's due back fairly soon, but he's not going to play probably at Kansas City. Randy Gregory is not going to play at Kansas City. So our 2 best pass rushers, as far as veterans go, are not going to play. And Blake Jarwin is on IR with a hip injury, so that 2-headed monster we had at tight end, which was so successful on rundowns because they could both block and help free Zeke. You can't do that anymore because they had to throw in some kid, Sean McEwen, yesterday, undrafted out of Michigan, and he caught both his targets. But, like, who is Sean McEwen? I don't know, and, frankly, I don't care. But despite all that, we did that yesterday. A++. Bounce back.
No, Skip, you can't.
That's who we are.
Skip, I would, if you had beaten a team, let's just say you beat the Packers, or you beat the Rams, or you beat the Cardinals. Skip, I'm going to come out here and say, you know what? Given the degree of difficulty, that's what you like to say, given the degree of difficulty, Skip, I'm going to give you a 9. I'm going to give you a 10. But I can't give you a 10 when you beat the Atlanta Falcons. Nobody thought the Falcons was going to win this game. Nobody thought the Falcons were any good. Nobody thinks that but you.
Really? Well, do the Saints think they're any good?
No.
Need to know.
Whoa.
Saints have a good defense? Yeah.
I'm surprised, considering it was a rivalry game, how lax the Saints took the Falcons, considering they see these guys twice a year since the division was instituted. So I was very surprised with how poorly the Saints came out and played. But I mean, really, so what are we thinking about the Saints? I mean, they've had big wins. We saw them beat Green Bay opening day. We saw them beat the Bucs, and then we see them lose to you lose to them? How?
Yeah, my team had give up 190 yards rushing last week to the Denver Broncos. Are you kidding me? And remember, Atlanta had come in there 1 year ago and led 39-24 midway through the 4th quarter. Yesterday, they were hapless and they were hopeless, and we are back.
The starting running back for the Atlanta Falcons was Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman couldn't make the Giants anymore.
Well, he wasn't the starter because, what's his name?
Oh, Patterson?
Yeah, Cordero.
Oh, Patterson.
Yeah.
The returning receiver is a starting back.
He's been beast mode. He was beast mode at New Orleans.
Well, no mercy. Tom Brady threw 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 picks as Tampa Bay lost 29-19 against Washington. Bruce Arians didn't hold back as he was critical of the 44-year-old QB. He said, quote, that had nothing to do with receivers. It was him. So, Shannon, what % of the blame do you give Brady for the loss yesterday?
Who is him? I need names. I don't know who him is. I don't know who he is. Who is him, Skip? You know who him is?
Is it my turn? I'll go. Let me go.
I'm just asking you, do you know who?
I'll explain if you want.
No, I don't want you to explain. I don't offer without explanation. I'm gonna give him as much blame as Skip Bayless gives him credit. 90% of the blame.
Really?
Because and I know what Skip Bayless is gonna get to. We're gonna talk about that 10-minute and 26-second drive that the Washington.
So you're trying to undercut your own argument?
No.
Even as you're speaking, you're trying to disqualify your own argument.
Did he play well? How did he play?
Is it my turn?
He scored 19 points.
If it's my turn, I'll go.
He scored 19 points. It's only the second time that they've held a team on the 20. The Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Broncos and the Buccaneers offense should not be in the same sentence. Tom Brady, the guy that you had as the front runner for MVP,
Wait,
got 19.
time out. Last week, you had him as the front runner for MVP.
It's not your turn.
Oh,
it's not your turn.
Oh, well, I got another question. I got one other question. How many plays did Tom Brady get to run yesterday? Help me out.
I don't know. Why you?
I'm not in the Hall of Fame. I don't know.
Why are you counting the plays? Why not make the plays count? That's what my grandfather used to tell me and my brother now. He said, boy, don't count the time. Make the time count. Don't count the plays, Skip Bayless. Make the plays count. So it doesn't matter. You told me you left too much time. Tom Brady had a minute and bing, bing, bing. Why didn't he bing, bing, bing with the time that he had?
He didn't have the ball.
So he had no ball.
He didn't have the ball. He got the ball with 30 seconds left in the game.
Whoa, the game was over. So when he had the ball in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, when he should have had 3 interceptions. You know he should have had 3. Because what? They thought they had it. The ball it hit the ground. He should have had 3 interceptions. So I just want to know, when Tom Brady has now lost back-to-back games, I'm so glad. Because all I heard is that last year when Tom Brady came off the bye, he didn't lose another game. All I heard was Clyde Christensen running his fat yap. We're going to be so much better. I had every player on that defense running their mouth. We're going to be so much better. You don't get better. Because while you thinking you're getting better, let me tell you what opposing teams are doing. They're breaking you down to the umpteenth degree. Offensively and defensively, because you won the championship. So while you think you can just do this and get better, they're looking at ways to neutralize that, Skip. I tell people this all the time. I was on a team that won back-to-back in Broncos, 97 and 98. And even though the Broncos, the 98 team, I think is the 18th best Super Bowl, or 14th, 15th best, I believe 97 was our better team. For the simple fact we had a Hall of Fame left tackle and a Pro Bowl right tackle. I believe that was our better team. Teams got an opportunity to go back and look at us. Even though we won the Super Bowl, TD went for 2,000. But Skip, I'm not going to let you do this. Now, Tom Brady.
I haven't spoken yet. Do what?
Do this. Do sitting over there trying to make his excuse. I'm giving an opportunity to come over with excuse. Tom Brady, there was 0 sacks. The man had 1 hit. Tom Brady took 1 hit with 0 sacks. Their best defensive player went down with what many believe to be a torn ACL. And the man gave you 19 points. That's what he put on it. Tom Brady, the GOAT. All you talk about, he got 7 championships.
Is that true? Is that right?
Yeah. Skip, it's not your turn to talk. It's a rhetorical question.
Did they go undefeated after their bye last year? Yes.
Skip.
Yes.
See,
keep going.
But here's the thing. You tell me, what does going undefeated after the bye last year have to do with this year?
Nothing.
Exactly. But yet you kept mentioning it. You keep bringing it up.
I haven't brought it up one time.
You just did. I want to know why.
You brought it up.
I want to know why.
Tell me when it's my turn.
I'm going to turn it over to this. Are you trying to tell me Trevor Siemian, Trev Dog, you know Trev is undefeated against Tom Brady. You know that, Skip, right? And not Tyler. Remember Tyler Heineke outplayed him last time.
Taylor,
Yeah, him, that one.
He's so bad you call him Tyler. It's okay.
He ain't bad. He outplayed him last year. He outplayed him last year in the playoff game. And came back, he said, I want a rematch. He said, I want a do-over. He got his do-over, brought him back, plunged him down. Yeah, you saw that.
I saw it.
I'm giving him as much blame as people give him credit, because you never mentioned the defense when they did what they did in the playoffs. When they took 4 turnovers off Drew Brees.
I told you again, hottest defense in pro football was Tampa's down the stretch.
Well, talk about that hot quarterback you got. He came off the bye. Remember, he was going to be so much better. That knee. That knee was bothering him. Ooh, my knee. Ooh, my knee.
He played last year with a torn MCL the whole year, and and won the Super Bowl in his first go-round at the Succaneers. Really interesting. Yeah.
And then Heineken and Simeon tore his tail up.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Thank you. Here we go for some truth.
You've got the truth.
I will give Tom Brady 35% of the blame.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to give the defense 45% of the blame, and I'm going to give that coaching staff headed by Bruce, I am a genius, Arians, 20% of the blame because they deserve probably more than that.
Okay.
So let's start with the fact that Bruce Arians says that both of the interceptions were Tom Brady's fault. Don't blame the receivers, he said. Blame him. Okay. Him is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Yeah.
And here we go with the first one to little Jalen Darden, who is a rookie fourth-round pick out of North Texas. Here it is. Help me out with this, Mr. Hall of Famer. Is that an interceptable ball? Wait a second, I got to see that again. I actually think he caught the ball and started to run with the ball. That should be a fumble, Coach Arians. I know you've coached everybody from Big Ben to Peyton to blah, 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 and I don't care because that is not Tom Brady's fault. Help me out. Is that Tom Brady's fault?
No.
It hits him right in the hands, and he catches it, and he starts to run with it, and it gets knocked up in the air and caught on the fly, and that's an interception?
You know why he said it's his fault, Skip? Because he said you shouldn't have threw it to him anyway. Why the hell you throwing him the ball?
To the little rookie?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know that's how BA thinks, Skip.
I don't know. I don't know. The second interception, if we could see this, was a horrible interception because he's human. Every once in a while he tries something. He tried one at New Orleans that just did not work. I don't know what he saw. I don't know what Mike Evans saw. I don't know what happened, but that is Tom Brady's fault.
55 turned and ran with Evans. That's what he did. He turned and run, and he overshot it.
This is double jeopardy because it's a bad idea compounded by an inaccurate throw.
Correct.
So you got both things going.
Yes.
I give you that full blame to Tom Brady for that one.
Correct.
Now let's go back to little Tyler Taylor Heineke. Do you realize what he did to this team in a playoff game at the same stadium at Washington last year?
Yes, I remember.
He threw for 306 yards against Todd Bowles' I thought, hot defense with a touchdown and interception. And he also ran it in that playoff game 6 times for 46 yards, and one of the runs was for a touchdown. It was like sensational run of the year by a quarterback. It was Lamar-esque, if you will. And that same guy in that game, he converted, let's get this straight. So he converted 11 of 19 yesterday, and he was 7 of 14 on third down in the playoff game. Would you believe that little Tyler Taylor Heineke is now 18 of 33 on third down against Todd Bowles' defense that won the Super Bowl last year? That's 55%. 11 of 19 on third downs yesterday? That's impossibly good.
13 to 21 on third and fourth downs yesterday.
Thank you. So he ran 71 plays to Brady's 47 plays. He had the ball 39 minutes to Brady's 21 minutes. Brady played a shaky at best first half. I give you that. But all of a sudden, Brady said, I got you. I just figured you out and you out and you out. And to start the second half, he came out looking like GOAT. And all of a sudden, in the second half, Tom Brady goes 12 of 14 for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns and 0 picks. And if we could see the touchdown throw that I thought had gotten them right back in the game to Mike Evans on a little pump and go. There he goes, and there he went. And Mike Evans scores a touchdown. That's early in the fourth quarter. This is vintage Brady. I'd say that hit him right in the hands. And that suddenly cut the score to what I thought was going to be 3 points, and Ryan Suckup missed the extra point. So all of a sudden, it sticks on 4. And then guess what happened? Well, you brought it up right out of the box. 10 minutes and 26 seconds happened. Wait a minute. A 10-minute and 26-second drive?
I can honestly say I don't know if I've ever seen one like that. Not to close the game, I skip.
Okay. It's 19 plays. It's by far the longest drive anybody's had in this football season. And during that drive, he winds up converting 4 third downs and the fourth down play to score the touchdown. And you leave Tom Brady with 30 seconds.
It didn't matter, Skip, because it's a 10-point game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But something's going to happen where if you miss on fourth down, at least Brady's got the ball back with 99 yards to go, or 99 and a half yards.
But he needs a touchdown.
Okay, he needs a touchdown. But the point was, you just ate the clock. And if we could see the one play that was the play of the game, it's 3:05 left. It's 3rd and 5 at the 15. And I said, surely you guys can stop this.
Yeah.
You can stop this. Can't you? Can't somebody stop? McLaurin caught it.
Yep.
6 yards. That's it. Okay, so what are the Buccaneers playing without right now? Well, they don't have Carlton Davis. He's their best cornerback. Richard Sherman got signed. He was probably going to be their second best cornerback. And what happened to him in pregame warmups?
Right.
The dreaded calf pull happened. So Richard Sherman was not able to play yesterday. He would have been on the field at that point. D. Delaney has been trying to sub in, and he got hurt during the game yesterday. So they're struggling. Then they lost Vita Vea. You talk about Chase Young going down, but Vita Vea went down, and he is a key to this run stopping, and it sounds like he's got a seriously bad knee injury.
Right.
It sounds like, and he was gone for much of the year. Last year came back for the playoff run, but it sounds like he's gone. So what else is Brady working without? Well, who are his top 2 favorite targets? Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, no and no. And Hal Gronk came back from cracked ribs to play down the stretch of a game that was virtually out of hand at Rams. Remember that?
Yeah.
He came back, he got x-rayed, came back and played the rest of the game. Well, what are you doing? Now you've missed every game since then. He tried briefly to come back. Yeah, but it didn't work because he lasted like 1 series, right? And AB, they say, is still in a walking boot with an ankle injury. And Arians said the other day on Friday, I'm not sure we'll have him back for the season. Okay, what's Tom Brady up against? He has 2 speed receivers who can run past you, AB and little Scotty Miller, who has a terrible turf toe injury, and he's still not back. So you go into a game against Washington, and we all know Washington's front 7 is really good, right? They have underachieved all year.
Yeah, they had 1 hit on Brady all day with 0 sacks. Okay, that's how good they are.
All right, but you thought going into the year they were really good because on paper,
there's no question they've underachieved.
Okay, all right. So it was one of those games where if we could see a play in the first half, it's to little DeAndre Carter. I don't even know where he came from, but he's become a key target for Washington's football team. But this is a first-half play, 6:43 left in the second quarter. This is to Jerome Whitehead, who can really rock you coming up to play the run. But help me out. Well, what if you catch that ball? Does it change the game? Should you have caught the ball? And not only do you not catch it, but DeAndre Carter does catch it for a huge first down. And that leads to a field goal. So that summarized the game. That put it in a nutshell for me. That was the kind of game that the Buccaneers played as defending champs coming off the bye, when obviously last year they thought as soon as we came off the bye, we took off. Right. And so I think they all walked on the field yesterday thinking, we're about to take off.
We'll skip out. Well, we talked about this all offseason. I say everybody keeps talking about, they're going to be so much better. Well, you can't. No.
You have to be better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Skip,
on paper, you should be better.
But I don't think. But Skip, I was surprised that Tom was talking like this, considering he had been on 6 other championship teams, and he knows how difficult it is to repeat. He knows that everybody goes in and they break you down. Every regular season game, every playoff game, they find out, okay, how do they lose this game? How do we crack this offense? Where are they vulnerable? They break you down. Unlike, Skip, everybody, they're not breaking down the Jets like they break down the Super Bowl team come offseason, because all 31 other teams are breaking the Bucs down. Okay. And so it was baffling to me to hear him talk like, we're going to be so much better. Like, okay, we're just going to go out there and everything. But what do you think the other teams are going to do? They're going to get better also, Tom. Okay. So in the process of you getting better, they getting better. It's not going to be as easy to do it. But you said 35% Brady. It's never been a situation in which they won the game and you only gave Brady 35% of the credit. You always give him 75, 80. But when they lose,
he plays quarterback.
Okay, we'll give him more blame. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You said if he's the most valuable, they deserve more credit. Give him more blame. Don't give him 35%.
Okay, who deserves more blame yesterday, the quarterback or the defense?
The quarterback.
the defense could not get the ball back from Tyler Taylor Heineke.
Okay, but that's not what you did.
Okay, if the quarterback doesn't have the ball, the quarterback can't do goatish things.
Well, when he had the ball, he didn't do anything with it because his 2 interceptions led to 10 points. What was the final margin of victory? Tom Brady's QBR, Pro Football Focus said Tom Brady's QBR was 32. Tyler Taylor Heineke is 44.
Yeah. By the way, would you believe Brady had a better QBR than Aaron Rodgers yesterday? Just for the record.
But who won?
Huh?
You tell me one. You tell me all you care about is win. But all I'm asking you, Skip, is that if you have never ever, in all my years of doing this show with you with 5+, giving Tom Brady during a win 35%.
Here are the facts. Tom Brady suffered 3 more drops by his receivers yesterday. That's a total of 15 for the year. That's high. Tom Brady in the second half, I'm going to repeat the numbers, 12 of 14 for 116, 2 touchdowns and no picks. He had another GOAT second half. He just needed the ball back and they would have won the football game. If you had stopped any of those 4 third downs and gotten him the ball back with 2-3 minutes left, it's over. He's going to go win the game.
But you see what you did? Now, when Tyreek Hill dropped that pick against Buffalo and the guy runs it back, you said he's out there hot dogging. He's trying to live up to the expectation. When Tyreek Hill dropped that play against the Washington football team and it got picked, you say he's trying to sidearm. When he threw the one and it got picked twice against the Chargers, you blame my homeboy. Now, why you don't give him any of the blame? Should Tyreek have caught those balls? Should that receiver have caught that ball? Of course he should have.
We're talking about the GOAT here.
No, that's my point. That should even be more. He should get 100% of the blame since you put it like that.
So Tom Brady still leads the entire NFL with 27 touchdown passes, and he leads in yards passing. I don't know.
Oh, look. He got more yards than my homeboy?
Yeah. Yeah, he does. And by the way, he's got 27 touchdowns in 9 games. My homeboy has 25 in 10 games.
But I tell you what else is going up too, though. There's another thing that's creeping up. I remember back in the day when you talk about he had 20 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He had this and this. Well, I talk about those interceptions.
Mahomes has 10.
How many you got?
He's got 7.
He creeping on up.
And, in fact, on opening night, you said both the interceptions were not his fault.
Whoa.
Not his fault. And that Jalen Darden you just said was not his fault.
Hold on.
So that's -3. So he actually has 4 interceptions.
Hold on. We've seen balls carry them off receivers' hands against Patrick Mahomes. We just saw it on a Sunday night when the Buffalo Bills ran a pick 6 back. And you blame Mahomes because you said he was trying to live up to the hype. We just saw it a couple of weeks later against Washington football team. Hit Tyreek in the hand. Pick. You said it was his fault.
Yards per game this year. Tom Brady, #1, 319 passing yards a game.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
He's 44.
Let me ask you a question. Does anybody throw the ball more than Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, the 15th?
The 15th? No, he should be the first, actually.
Does anybody throw the ball more than the Bucs?
Well, Jameis threw it a lot, too, and look what happened.
Whoa! I'm not talking about no Jameis. This is not about Jameis. Jameis is out. Jameis right now is about to have surgery and rehabbing. Leave him out of this. All I'm asking you to do, if you would have never given Tom Brady 35% of the credit in the win, don't you dare lay 35% of the blame.
I don't care what's going on in the past. I care about yesterday. And he deserved 35% and the defense 45%.
90.
That's fair and that's accurate and that's correct.
I'm happy he didn't want to talk after that one.
Yeah, Jenny, what's going on with that, Skip?
What?
Now, when they win, you got to pull the man from the podium. You got to pull him. They got to be like the Apollo.
He spoke.
Whoa, hold on, time out, Skip Bayless. Time out, Skip Bayless. When Tom Brady wins a game,
did he go congratulate Tyler Heineke? Yeah, he did.
Skip, let me finish.
Yep.
When Tom Brady wins a game, they got to bring out the same man from the Apollo to pull his ass off the podium. Now, all of a sudden, that's it, guys. No!
He spoke.
Stand your butt up there and talk.
He spoke.
I didn't anticipate
He congratulated everybody after the game. He went over there.
No, I want no congratulations.
He's a competitor.
You should be congratulated because you've sent him home 5 straight years. You said he should retire 5 times.
I want him to answer the reporter's question.
Should he retire now?
We'll get back to Tom. I promise, guys. We'll get back to him. But we're hours away from Odell's debut with his new team. The Rams signed OBJ on a 1-year deal, who went from being a luxury to a necessity as they lost fellow wideout Robert Woods. And Odell is expected to make his Rams debut tonight against the Niners. So, Shannon, are the Rams better or worse with Odell?
Man, fooling with Skip over here got me sweating like a Pentecostal minister.
Sorry.
I don't think you have much to do with the Pentecostal minister.
Bring it up, Tom.
Frankly.
Skip, you know what? Look, I believe he's going to make him better. And as Jenny put in the read, that's what I wrote down. What was a luxury now all of a sudden became a necessity because of the injury that Robert Woods suffered in practice on Friday, Skip. And so, look, I still believe Odell has juice left. He will get an opportunity, but they're totally two different receivers. Odell is mainly an outside the numbers guy. Robert Woods worked mainly inside the numbers guy. Basically, a lot of his damage was between the hashes.
That is true.
But you could also line him up in the backfield and hand him the ball.
You can.
They did a lot of jet sweeps with him.
They did.
He's a tough physical receiver that's tremendous.
He will block you.
Yeah, he will block, and he does a great job of, once he gets the ball in his hands, of running with it, be it downfield or behind the line of scrimmage.
Agreed.
So with this being said, now Odell gets an opportunity to show you and others like you just how much juice he got in the tank. That these batteries are not a half. They still up there. And he's going to show you. Now, I'm thinking he's going to have a ball. I'm thinking he's going to, well, why could, and then what you going to come out here, well, why couldn't he do that with Baker? Everybody, why couldn't he do that in Cleveland? Because he just couldn't. Because he didn't have a guy that understood how to get him the ball.
Okay.
But with that being said, I think, this is what they needed. And again, when I first, I was like, it makes sense, Skip, city-wise. L.A.
Okay, I'll buy that.
We get that.
Well, he's got an off-season home up in the Hollywood Hills.
Right. So, Skip, I get that. But I'm looking like, but damn. I think a lot of this had to do with Sunday night. And I came out here. Van Jefferson dropped a touchdown. He dropped a lot of key passes.
He did.
And Sean McVay understands come playoff time, those are the type of drops that gets you beat, that gets you off the field on third down, that gets you beat, and then you like, well, we had some opportunities. He felt that, you know what, Van Jefferson keeps playing like this, those opportunities will be Odell's now. Odell's going to get an opportunity to play a lot more, a lot sooner than we previously thought.
That is a fact.
I still believe he's got juice. I still believe he has something to prove. And now he gets an opportunity with an offensive mind and a quarterback that knows how to use him and knows how to get him the ball.
Okay. I'm going to put some adjectives in front of necessity and for luxury and necessity.
Okay.
Odell just went from a chemistry-wrecking luxury to a dangerous necessity.
Right.
Because the problem suddenly becomes, and I feel sorry for you and Odell in this instance.
Why?
All of a sudden, because of the freakish injury during practice to Robert Woods on Friday, I couldn't make this up. I couldn't write a Hollywood script any better than this. All of a sudden, Odell goes from, I can ease into this, to you're going to get thrown into the fire on Monday Night Football. They're even saying, oh, he could return punts. Seriously? Odell Beckham Jr. returning punts? Do you know how dangerous that can be?
Yeah.
Do you know how beat up this young man is? He's still a young man at 29.
Well, you ain't trying to bring him return punts, Skip. He got an AC joint. That's a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
What you think going to happen?
What are you doing? What are you talking about return punts? He's had surgeries in 3 of the last 4 seasons. That's a lot of surgery in your body. And the injuries tend to move all over his body, from his toes all the way up to his hands, to his head, to his shoulder. He's had everything go wrong. He's beat up. I think he's worn down psychologically, and I don't think he wanted any part of getting thrown into the early fire in L.A. I agree with you. Once Sean McVay presented the opportunity, I think your man Von Miller was the point man for this.
Yeah,
you know?
him and Von are very close.
Yeah, okay. So Von's saying, what about L.A.? Well, we never thought about L.A.
No.
How many teams did we kick around on the show, but nobody thought about L.A.?
And because, Skip, when I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, they got Robert Woods, they got Jefferson, they got Cooper Kupp. I'm like,
they got Higbee at tight end who catches a lot of balls.
And I'm like, Odell ain't really trying to go to be a fourth option.
Yeah.
Green Bay and Kansas City made sense to us. Maybe Seattle, but you know, we find out Seattle got a lot more issues going on. Odell's like, I don't want any a part of that.
Okay.
But we were thinking I was just Green Bay or Kansas City makes the most sense. I just didn't put the Rams because of what they already had.
Okay, I had the Raiders on the list.
Yes.
I could have used him last night. I had, we talked about the Saints. We talked about everybody except the Rams.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, not only is he a Ram, but he's a key Ram.
Yeah.
And so back to the question, better or worse? Well, for them to be better, he's got to be better than Robert Woods now, to me, because Van Jefferson's still a young player.
Right.
Nobody expects him to be Odell-esque, right?
Right.
Okay, well, he's not better than Robert Woods, and I think you would agree. He's just not a better receiver at this stage in this age than Robert Woods has proven to be.
We're about to find out.
Okay, well, do you say he is better?
We're going to find out.
Okay,
That's he said he wanted an opportunity to show what he can do. He believes that he can still be Odell. So we're about to find out, Skip, because like you said, what was about to be an ease-in, 10 plays, 15 plays a game, about to be 35, 45 plays a game.
Absolutely, maybe right out of the box.
Right, if not more.
Okay. They're going to try that kid Skoranek, that Ben Skoranek, that seventh round out of Notre Dame. He may start the game. He's caught, what, a couple of balls? Three balls for 30 yards. He's 6'3", 224, seventh rounder out of Notre Dame.
He's a big kid. I saw him the other night. He's a big kid. Skip.
Okay, so I assume he'll get the start, but I think Odell's going to get the finish because Odell's going to be right in the thick of things. Because what are the people who run the Rams known for? They're known for putting together an NBA-style super team. That's what they want.
Yeah, that's why they get
Sean McVay, in the end, he's got a huge ego, and he is a grandstander, and he's a showboater, as we saw. Do you remember the last wide receiver that he had? Remember that little guy? What was his name? Oh, that little D-Jack. Remember what happened when D-Jack caught one against Tampa and ran up the tunnel? Do you remember what Coach McYay did?
What did he do?
Oh, there he is.
That's my guy. That's my guy right there.
He's back in business now. He's got Odell Beckham Jr. He ran all the way up the tunnel, and he slaps 5 with little Deshaun, and a couple of weeks passed, and Deshaun is gone. Deshaun is now Las Vegas Raiders.
And he had one last night. He fumbled his guy. I thought he had a touchdown last night out the gate. He did.
He sort of got swung around, and I think he got disoriented, like which way to go for a second, and then he got stripped. Okay, so the point is, this team loves to showboat. So I'm talking about management loves to say, watch this, we are all in to win now. So Odell fits the bill like the marquee like crazy. It's perfect.
You got to be. You're in L.A.
It's Hollywood.
You just put together $5 billion.
You did. I got it.
You know with anything, Skip, it's not just good enough to say, oh, we serve good food.
Yep.
You better serve something extraordinary. And it better have bells and whistles, or the people, they don't care. Unless you've been established a long time, like Roscoe's.
I got it.
Or the donut shop out there in Inglewood, Randy's Donuts.
Yep.
That's just, it's the original. But other than that, Skip, when you get like these guys just got to town, you better win, because there's too many other things for them to do.
I agree.
If you're not winning, than to come sit up in a stadium. They got the beaches, they got Rodeo Drive, they can go hiking, they can do all these things. So in order to get butts in the seat to come watch you, you better have superstars.
I completely concur. They just got the biggest bell and the biggest whistle, the loudest whistle. And yet, if you look hard at what Odell has done, his receiving yards per game have dropped each of the last 4 years, in large part because he's just been beat all to hell. And yet, if you go back to his rookie year, he made the greatest catch in the history of pro football, but in his rookie year, he led the league in... Do we still have it? I'm not sure.
You want to see that skill? He did against your Cowboys. That's what made it so special.
I didn't request it, so I'm not sure we have it handy.
He did against your Cowboys.
He did it against Brandon Used Car.
Yeah, look at this. Skip, he caught it.
Okay, he caught it.
How,
that put him not only in the map, that made him the map. He became the map with that catch, right?
Look at that.
Okay, and that was a game, I believe, on a Sunday night.
It was a Sunday night game.
That the Giants lost to my Dallas Cowboys, but nobody remembered because it was Eli.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared. It's not like your team won the Super Bowl, so who cares what they did? What happened?
Brandon Used Car, number 39.
Pass interference with it behind his head. You talking about Stephon Diggs. That was behind his head with one hand on you.
Now I see high school kids making that catch, and it seems like just matter of fact, but that broke the mold.
He better hit the Deion Sanders on you.
He did. Okay, I got it. But it might have been the worst thing that ever happened to Odell, because he wound up averaging 104 receiving yards a game. And this year at Cleveland, couldn't connect with Baker, 39 yards receiving a game.
I bet he averaged more than that for the Rams
right?
moving forward.
Well, he better. He has to. And they will feature him, and they will try to make him a Hollywood sideshow. That's what they will do, and we'll see if that works. But again, I've told you from the start, Matt Stafford is not that guy. They went to get him because he can light it up.
He is.
Okay?
And he will.
So I don't believe he's that guy, and I believe that Odell Beckham Jr. will slowly but surely turn into who's his biggest champion? LeBron James tweeted, "It's go time, my brother."
It's
go time. I believe that Odell Beckham Jr. will slowly turn into the Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Rams. Of the Rams. You got the Fakers and you got the Lambs. I mean the Rams.
You got jokes.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You got jokes.
Here we go. Here we go.
The difference between Odell plays a dependent position. It's not he can't be Russ because guess what? It would be Odell would need to be the quarterback in order to be the Russ because he would have to have the ball all the time.
Okay. I told you I feel sorry for Odell because he became the most overhyped free agent in the history of this league as far as impact, what he can do at this point for a team. So now all of a sudden, you're on. Yeah. All the pressure's on Odell. You're on Monday Night Football.
Didn't he say he was made for the bright lights? He was born for the bright lights?
Well, that's what he's always said, right?
Yeah.
Born for Hollywood.
That's right.
Okay, he's here. Is he better than Robert Woods? You say yes. I'm going to hold you to it. Well, you did. You said he's going to make them better.
First of all, you have to understand that Robert Woods has been in this position, been in this system, been in that position for a number of years. It's going to take Odell some time to catch up to speed. But I believe that he can be the equivalent. If he gets caught up to speed sooner rather than later, I believe he can be as good, if not better, than Robert Woods.
Okay.
They're just different. I believe most of his damage will be outside the numbers. And Stafford has the arm talent to throw the ball outside the numbers.
And the coach is going to try to make him or remake him a star. So, Odell, you're on. Here you go.
Well, you just mad.
No mercy. Aaron Rodgers made his return to the field to face off with Russell Wilson, but it turned out to be a defensive slugfest in Green Bay as the Packers won 17-0 against the Seahawks. Rodgers had 0 touchdowns and 1 interception in his comeback performance, admitting he was, quote, a little misty with emotions, adding, "I just don't take these things for granted." Walking off the field as a winner, then hearing that type of response from the crowd, it was a little extra special today. Shannon, give Rodgers a letter grade for his return, please.
Skip, I gave him a B minus. I thought he looked a little rusty. He was very uncharacteristic, putting the ball up. That's not Rodgers. We know he's the most careful guy as far as touchdown to interception ratio. That's why he has a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So, which was very uncharacteristic for him to. I can see, Skip, if you're gonna put that ball in a situation, that's Devontae Adams, but not to a backup tight end with Jamal Adams. Even though Jamal Adams is more of an in-the-box safety, he was between Rodgers and the wide receiver. So I was very surprised about that. But when the rubber needed to meet the road, when he needed to make throw after throw after throw, he led two fourth quarter touchdown drives that put the game away. And I thought he did a very good job of understanding, knowing that this is a defense. This is not a day where I need to go out there and try to throw for 350 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns. Let's not put the ball in the harm's way. I don't think sometimes, Skip, I don't think enough quarterbacks understand what Tom Brady knows a lot, is that he can, early on in the game, he can see the way the game is going, and he'll play the game accordingly. Now, yesterday, isolated incident, the likelihood of Tom Brady playing like that poorly again is not very good. But he does a great job of understanding this is not a game that I need to get into a shootout. This is a defensive battle. Let me do my part. Let me not put the ball in harm's way, and we can get out here with a victory. And I thought Aaron Rodgers did a very good job of that. He looked a little rusty early. He made a mistake early. But once they needed it, he needed to be Aaron bleeping Rodgers. He turned into that guy, led him down the field, and they got a shutout. Skip, and we talked about this the other night when it was very impressive when they went on the road and won that game against Arizona. And then they went to Kansas City minus Aaron Rodgers. And had they had Aaron Rodgers, they would have beat the brakes off Kansas City. I said, Skip, this defense is getting better and better right before our eyes. 3 of their best the 3 best defensive players aren't currently playing. Skip, if this defense continues to build, continue to grow, Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. This might be the team to beat in the NFC, but I gave him a B minus.
Okay. Just because I continue to hear across the table from the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe, this is the greatest thrower of the football ever. He is transcendent. He is Aaron bleepin' Rodgers. Because of all the above, I've got to grade him on the Aaron Rodgers curve. I got to give him a D as in dog. D as in dog for this performance because he was very fortunate that his opponent yesterday was Russell Wilson, who played like Russell Westbrook, because I have never seen Russell Wilson play that poorly.
The man just came
I got it. And you got to give him the surgery pass because he rushed back from surgery on the middle finger of his throwing hand. Yeah. And I give him all the above. But that was horrendously bad because he continued to wing it and wing it and wing it. Bombs away downfield. He had 10 off-target passes downfield. He had 8 of them were overthrows. He had a QBR of 13 on a scale of 0 to 100, and we had 3 straight interceptions by the 2 quarterbacks. 2 was by the visiting quarterbacks. But let's see the first Russell Wilson interception, if we could. 7:53 left in the 3rd quarter. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that one. Let's go to the Aaron Rodgers interception then. This is how bad Aaron was. This was so uncharacteristically bad. This is 3rd and 6 from the, the 16-yard line. And he throws it up for grabs, and Jamal Adams comes down with it. I'm not sure I've seen a much worse pass by Aaron Rodgers this side of the NFC Championship game at Lambeau when they had it 1st and goal at the 8, and he threw 3 of those in a row. The point is, really? What are you doing? And then we had one more to cap it off from Russell Wilson. Oh, we don't have the 2 Russell Wilsons. Okay,
I don't know what Russell. I know which one you're talking about. I don't know what Russ was thinking.
I don't know what he was thinking.
He tried to throw the ball to DK Metcalf, and he got a guy standing right in front of DK Metcalf.
We had 3rd and 10 at the 12, and then we had 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 43, and both of them he just flung as far as he could into the end zone, and you know the rest of the story.
Right.
Well, that was it. So guess what Aaron Rodgers got away with? It was only his 2nd career win without a touchdown pass and at least 1 interception. In the previous games, he was 1-5 in such games, right?
Well, I think that just goes to show you, Skip, when you have a defense like he has, is that you can. I mean, Tom Brady has several. I guarantee you Tom Brady has won more games in which he hasn't thrown a touchdown than probably any other quarterback because he's always had a defense to back him up. Now Aaron Rodgers has a defense to back him up that if he's not on his best behavior on a given day, he's still good enough to win you ball game as long as he doesn't turn the ball. Because turnover, Skip, is not so many that you turn the ball over. When did you turn the ball over? Turning the ball over in the 4th quarter as opposed to the 1st quarter is an entirely different ball game. Because you probably can overcome that one that you turned over in the 1st, but that one late in the ball game in the 4th, you're probably not going to be able to overcome it. But why you do that? You say if we're going to judge Aaron Rodgers, you say he's the greatest thrower. So we should grade Tom Brady just as harsh, with just as fine opinion as what we do Aaron Rodgers, because he's the GOAT. That's what you tell me.
Well, I told you, and he was 12 of 14 for 116 yards in the 2nd half. He looked sensational.
So that's 2
touchdowns, no interceptions. So let me ask you a question.
Hold on. So let me ask you a question.
And he had a better QBR than the guy you just gave a B- to.
I just want to ask you a question.
32 to 30 for Aaron Rodgers.
One guy team won the game. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the stats you want. At the end of the day, I thought we play for wins or losses.
Who played better yesterday? Tyler Taylor Heineke or Russell Wilson? Help me out. Who played better? I think that kid in Washington played 5 times better.
But the thing was, you're the GOAT. Nobody should outplay you. In the history
you can't play defense, too, if you're the GOAT.
Now you can't. You see what you did? Yeah. The moment Tom Brady plays bad, it's always someone's fault. You cannot blame that man's feet to save your life.
I just told you he didn't have the football. What was it, 36 minutes to whatever it was?
He had the football twice, and he gave it to the other team.
Well, that was early.
Okay.
And once he didn't give it to the other team, he hit Jalen Darden right in the hands, and it was actually a fumble. And it got called an interception. So
also, let me. So I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So he was 4 of 10 on 3rd downs. All those was in the 1st half.
I don't know. I didn't count them up.
No, they weren't.
Okay.
They weren't.
Aaron Rodgers wasn't much. Do you think he lit it up yesterday? How did he get a QBR of only 30 if Brady had a 32? And you said it's one of Brady's worst games ever. 32 to 30 said QBR.
One guy won the game. See, QBR you can measure, and that look. I don't. You know, I just throw the QBR in there just to mess with you. You know what I think about QBR and the people that made up QBR. But I'm just doing that to mess with you.
Okay.
All I know is this: Aaron Rodgers' teams team won?
Because they got to play Russell Wilson.
But hold on. How many games has Washington football team won?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You bet on them. I didn't. You bet 10 cases on them.
And they beat your team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So who's better?
My team's the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
My quarterback is Tom Brady.
That's your team. But
Yeah.
no. The Bucs. So
Washington has not played my team yet. They get to play them twice.
they just beat one of your teams.
Okay. It's
You had a bad week, Skip. Baylor got one of your team. Baylor beat your team.
I think we're talking about Aaron Rodgers here. And by the way, I knew.
give him a B.
Yeah, I knew Aaron Rodgers was back. The liar was back.
Okay,
you know when I knew it? Because I got to see him be vintage Aaron Rodgers, middle of second quarter, after a throw to that young tight end, DeGuara. Could we see what happened? Here's the pass to DeGuara up the sideline. And guess what Aaron Rodgers did? Something Shannon Sharpe would not have abided. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, show him up. Tell him what's what. He ran the wrong route.
No, you tell him get up the field. He said, "Hey, don't stand there. Just go. Turn on. Go.
Go. I don't know where he could have gone, actually. Yeah? Oh, okay.
I just want you to go.
Oh, okay. What if John Elway had done that to young Shannon Sharpe? Young Shannon Sharpe would have given him an earful right there on the sideline. He would have said, "Not me, not that way."
Well, I think the thing is he's probably a first or second year guy. Young Shannon Sharpe would have probably taken it.
Maybe.
Young Shannon Sharpe would have taken it. But I'd have had a conversation. I'd have let, hey, T, bro, you know, I know I was wrong, but don't do that.
Okay.
That's it. Just talk to him.
I think Aaron Rodgers was being a petulant child after the game because he insisted on doing this interview via Zoom when he's cleared the protocol now. He didn't need to.
He's not going to get tested.
Okay.
For the next 90 days.
He's done because he's got COVID antibodies in him. He caught COVID.
Right.
It's the best way to beat COVID is to catch it, right?
And your body fight it off.
So it's harder to get it again because you're just spilling over with antibodies,
you're Superman,
right? Okay, you are Superman. Way to go, Aaron. But what does he do after the game? He could have gone in and met the media with no mask.
I'm going to show you.
He's going to say, I'm going to show you. So he Zoomed the media session from inside the stadium. He Zoomed it.
He is.
Way to go, Aaron. We're impressed.
But you know how he, Skip, that's him.
That's him.
Thank you. There was not one time that I ever think Aaron is going to meet the media face to face. This is him. Okay. This is what y'all want, you get it.
Well, if he wanted to really be a petulant child, he should have worn a mask on the sideline and as he shook hands after the game. But he's not going to do that.
No. He wanted to show the media because you outed him and you wanted to demonize him.
That is
and
correct.
You wanted to ostracize him.
That is
so
correct.
I'm going to show you, this is what I'm going to do for you guys.
Yep.
Now you're not going to be able to see. I still can ask you the same question. I don't care.
That is true.
I don't care.
So the liar is back and he won. He won.
No mercy. The LeBron-less Lakers beat the Spurs 114-106, which was a big bounce-back win after getting blown out by, the Timberwolves on Friday. The purple and gold are set to host the 9-4 Bulls tonight before embarking on a 5-game East Coast road trip. So, Shannon, are you feeling better or worse about the Lakers after the weekend?
Worse. Because I'm not putting a whole lot of stock in them beating the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are a bad team.
Yep.
They're in rebuild mode. They don't have a whole lot to show. They're 4-9, Skip. But I think the Minnesota Timberwolves, because it goes to show you that they're still turning the ball over. They had another 20 turnover game. They stopped playing defense in the third quarter. 40-12, they got outscored. And what was a 3-4 point lead at one point going into the third quarter. All of a sudden, it was a 25, 26 point deficit start the fourth quarter. So for me, and when you look at it, Russell Westbrook is matching his career high in turnovers. Now, his previous career high, Skip, was at his MVP season when he averaged 31, 10, and 10. Well, maybe you could offset that. 5 turnovers, guy giving you 31 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. But a guy giving you 19, 9, and 8, that ain't going to be able to overcome that. And so, for me, this team's going to lose a lot. Now, if they were to win this game tonight, Skip, this would be their most impressive win to date because I think the Bulls are one of the teams. I think the Bulls are legit. They got 2 legit scores, the DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Lonzo Ball is shooting the ball extremely well. We know what Caruso is, Skip. He's a scrappy guy, can make timely shots, defend at a high level. They got, I think Vucevic is in protocol right now, Skip. But they have a big guy, a 7-foot guy that can play with his back to the basket. He can shoot the 3. It would have been interesting to see, had he been there, what it would look like. But if they were to win this game tonight, Skip, for me, minus LeBron, this would be their most impressive. But Russ had another 7-turnover performance yesterday. The thing is, 7 turnovers, 7 assists. That's not good enough. And they stopped playing defense because this game shouldn't even been this close yesterday, Skip. I'm watching on my way back. Had 2 iPads. Had watching on the airplane, watching from my phone. And I'm like, okay, they're up 14. They got this. Next thing I know, it's a 2-point game. What the hell?
2-point game with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah. Turnovers is killing them, Skip. Turnovers, and they're not playing any defense.
So you just said that if they do beat the Bulls tonight, it would be their most impressive win. But can somebody please, starting with you, explain to me how they got 12 of their first 15 games at home? This is the final one of those 12.
Right.
And how did you swing it that the Bulls had to play the Clippers first last night, so now you even got the Bulls on a back-to-back, albeit at Staples.
Well, we played back-to-back, too. You make it seem like we didn't play yesterday.
You got the Spurs, and you got them at 12:30 Pacific time, so you got a day and a half off.
We ain't got no day and no half.
Yes, you did, and the Bulls had a knockdown, drag-out battle, because I watched every dribble of it. It wasn't no knockdown, drag-out. They beat the brakes off you. They didn't beat the brakes. That was a close game with 2 minutes to go, and Zach LaVine said, I got this.
Exactly.
He is playing at an MVP level as we speak.
DeMar DeRozan is too.
Well, both of them. And they are a handful because the Clippers had won 7 in a row. And for a second, I thought they had their 8th. And then they didn't because these guys got it. And Lonzo Ball is playing some serious defense.
Other nights, he shot, made seven threes.
Because he got up into Paul George last night, and he was giving him the business. He was making it hard on playoff P because he was making him look like regular season P. So the point is, you get a break because that was a very physical battle last night with the Clippers, and now you got them with no. I assume Vucevic isn't going to play.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But the point is, here we go, back to our man, Russell Westbrook. So I agree with you. It was shocking to me that, especially on Friday night, a game I watched from start to finish, that you lost the third quarter to the Timberwolves 40-12. You had a lot of trouble in third quarters, but this was all-time bad because how do you lose 40-12 at home?
Well, this is how you lose 40-12 at home. When you turn the ball over, which means you don't even get shots up at your rim. And you don't play defense. So you get no points on your possession, and they get everything they want on their possession. That's how you lose 40-12.
Karl Anthony Towns was 6 of 7 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3. That was 18 points in that third quarter on Friday night.
Anthony Edwards.
And they all did, but they just didn't miss any shots. But your man, Carmelo Anthony, they kind of live and die off Melo. Like, are you going to save us or not? He went 0 for 5 from the three-point line in the third quarter, and that's the ball game.
Well, and plus, you know what, Skip, and I think the lineup now, they had to get Kent Bazemore because over the last 3 games, he had given them nothing. I could see, Skip, where he wasn't defending at the level that they needed, and he was giving them no offense. So at least you got to be able to be something. You got to be at lead at one level. If you're not going to score, you got to stop other people from scoring. Well, he can't do that, and he's giving you nothing on the offensive end. Malik Monk, come in late to go. Wayne Ellington. I can just imagine, Skip, it's going to be hard pressed. There are going to be some guys that get shortchanged in minutes once LeBron gets back because Wayne Ellington and Malik Monk is giving you offense. Carmelo has been sensational. Yeah, he had. Now, I would love to see him take just a little bit of that from Staples, take that on the road with him, Skip.
Well, you've got your chance now because you start Wednesday night at Milwaukee. 5-game road trip.
Yeah, and Milwaukee just got it handed to them by the Hawks last night.
And they've been getting it handed to them by everybody.
They have.
But your man, THT, was finally back last night, and he looked good. In fact, I thought I'd give him an A for his performance last night. But it is now time for our daily excitement called the Russell Westbrook blooper reel. And if we could start with his turnovers just on Friday night. Could we see the 5 on Friday night, please? Here we go against the T-Wolves.
What is that?
I don't know. Russ,
I know the people pay a lot of money for those seats, but they're not in the game.
Come on. That's high school. That's high school. Come on, Russ.
Russ, that's the start of the third.
This is in the third quarter. Russ, what was that? Who did he
and then he put his hands up like, what? You supposed to be? Look at this.
Russ, are you colorblind? I'm starting to think he can't see the color of the jerseys. I don't know. Which brings us to yesterday against what's left of my Spurs. 7 more turnovers.
7.
And he's running away with the NBA lead.
It's not even close.
Not even close. Here's the 7.
Skip, what is that?
Russ. Come on, Russ. Oops. That's just careless. Russell, you got this. You got this. Whoops. No, you don't got this. Russell. What? Oh, that's offensive foul, little left-hand forearm shiver. Here we go. Russ. No, those men in black. You got to see the men in black.
Look at this.
Okay. Did you not see him? Russ, give up a dunk to Derek White. Come on, Russ. That's 7 more turnovers. Yeah. So where are we now? He's up to 76 for the year. That is 8 clear of James Harden, who's back at 68. It's just hard to overcome that.
It is, because here's the thing. People are like, but I'm telling you, when a guy turns the ball over like this, come playoff time, Skip, you know the possessions become more valuable. The last thing that you want to do is give up your possessions. You want to at least get a shot at the basket. He's not even giving you an opportunity to get a shot at the basket.
What do they say in your game? You have to value the football.
You do.
If you're running with it, you have to protect it.
Yes.
You have to keep it like it's sacred. You have to hold on to it. If it takes 2 hands, hold on to it with 2 hands. Russell has no respect for valuing the basketball.
Nobody's ever made him accountable for turning the ball over like that.
Has he ever gotten yanked from a game for a turnover? No.
Because he was so great, Skip, they've just lived with that. It's kind of like a great guy. Because, Skip, remember early in his career, Adrian Peterson had a problem fumbling the football.
He did.
But because he was so great, he rushed for 1,700, 2,000 yards. You're like, well, oh, hell, that's the least of my problems. Well, Russ is giving you triple-doubles. Russ is giving you 25 points a night. You're like, oh, well, we can tolerate that. But you're not going to win a guy that turns the ball over like that, you're not winning a championship because the basketball is too valuable in the fourth quarter, late in ball games, to have him be in charge of it. It's kind of hard to have a bank robber in charge of the bank, Skip.
That's true. I agree.
The money going to come up missing. Yes, and when the money come up missing, everybody looking like, so what's going on?
I thought it was significant. Down the stretch yesterday, much of the time, guess who dribbled the ball up and Russell was on the court? THT, because LeBron has blessed him because he is careful with the basketball. He makes much better decisions with the ball than Russell makes.
Yes, Russell's just he's just reckless with the football. Basketball.
That's both. He dribbles the basketball like it's a football, right?
Skip, he'd been a heck of a running back. With his mentality.
Safety,
No, I want the ball in his hands.
Okay.
I just want him to just turn this run.
Okay.
Because he run angry. he dribbles angry.
He dribbles angry. He plays completely out of control, which actually works when you're running with the football, right? You would hit the hole as hard as you could hit it. But again, you seem to live and die with Carmelo. And if we could see one last shot yesterday against the Spurs, the dagger was provided by Melo. I mean, he's unbelievable. Look at this. Here's the kick out from AD to Melo. And as soon as
he started bouncing. He started bouncing with that thing.
I know. He bounces, and as soon as it left his hand, I said, that's good.
Oh, yeah, that's money.
That's money. Look at this.
Everybody knew what it was.
Look at that.
THT put his hands up.
He's hitting his head.
Watch THT.
Yep.
Look at THT at the bottom.
Yep.
I knew what it was.
He's got it.
They saw me on the plane. They're like, what are you doing?
Ball game.
Don't worry about it.
Ball game. Way to go.
Yeah.
So, can Carmelo take that on the road? We're about to find out. Yeah.
Skip, we don't need him to go scorching hot like he did the other night. Goes like 7 to 9, 8 to 10. But we get like 4 or 5 of them.
I don't know. Where is Lagon? I think it's time for him to come back.
He'll be back shortly.
Will he? Because Vogel's been talking positively about it, optimistically.
We did a little
sooner than later.
We did a little on-court stuff.
Did you?
But you saw that unibrow. You saw what he did. That's the guy. I want AD to take AD. Sometimes I don't think AD realizes how special he is.
That's probably true. I would agree.
I don't think he realized that. AD, you're 6'10.5". You can shoot the 3. You can post up. You got mid-range. You can put it on the floor, and you can make 75, 80% of your free throws.
Yep.
You just need to have that. Say every game, every possession, I'm gonna dominate. Skip, ain't nobody deal with AD.
Nope.
Who can deal with AD?
He played guard in high school, and then he just sprouted.
He should be. When they talk about KD and Giannis.
I agree.
He needs to be in that same breath.
Yep.
He needs to say that. Like Tyler Hero said when they was talking about the young guard, they said Luka and Trae Young. He said when they talk about them, you should talk about me. And he's grown out and he's playing really well this year. AD should have that same mindset. Y'all talking about KD, and KD's been phenomenal. Right now, he'd be the MVP, followed closely by Steph Curry and Yoke.
I'll buy that.
But AD, Skip, he can just dominate.
You got to bring it every night.
Every night.
Yep.
But he needs to understand that I'm that good and I can bring it every night. He ain't one of these guys that we expect like, okay, we demand that from you, AD. He don't get it right.
Well, here comes Zach LaVine.
We're going to put something on it.
Yeah.
You want something on it?
No, I don't.
They're
playing
so.
back-to-back.
We played back-to-back.
Clippers soften them up for you.
Soften up.
Not right now.
No mercy.
Patrick Mahomes looked like his old self in a 41-14 victory yesterday, throwing for 406 yards and 5 touchdowns, including a wild deep throw to Darrell Williams that put the game away in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs will face the Cowboys next weekend on Fox, and Mahomes is confident his team is back on track, saying after the game, quote, "We've done it before. I knew that we were going to click back into it." So, Shannon, give Patrick Mahomes a letter grade for last night.
Skip, I gave him A with no pluses. 400 yards, 5 touchdowns on the road, division rival. And he's yet to lose a division rival on the road, Skip. Now, with this win, they're tied with the in the West, AFC West, but they own the tiebreaker. Skip, he was protected last night. That was really the difference in the ball game.
0 sacks.
0 sacks.
Yeah.
Maybe got hit once. And if you can protect him, he's capable of doing this. On throws of at least 10 yards down the field last night, he was perfect. 7-7, 142 yards. Skip, he still wasn't his best. He had Tyreek on the out and up, and he overthrew him by 10 yards. Throws that in his first 3 to 4 years, Skip, he made in his sleep.
I agree.
I think he had Pringle in the end zone. He overthrew him at the back of the end zone.
Yep.
The turnovers are in the back of his mind, Skip. So if you notice, he's missing every throw long. So he's like, if I'm gonna miss, I'm gonna miss long. I'm not gonna miss short and turn this ball over. But he got it going last night. Guys made play for him. The running back, Williams, that play, that's what you have to sometimes break out one of these funks, Skip. This is what I didn't know. This is how great Patrick Mahomes is. And if you had any doubt, check this stat out. Last night was the 3rd time in his career in which he's thrown for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, which is tied for the most all times with Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, and Joe Montana. Those guys are never, ever playing another football game again. He's tied with them. He's 26.
Yep.
He just did that. So it just goes to show you, Skip, his floor is so high. His ceiling is so high. Is that when he throws for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, it's like, oh, ho-hum. He threw for 405, and I don't think he played as good as he could have played.
I agree.
He should have had 450, 475, and 6 or 7 touchdowns. But that just goes to show you the bar in which he set for himself and the standard in which we hold him to has gotten so out of control that we look at 405 touchdowns on the road against a division rival. It's like, yeah, okay, just a whole hum A.
Okay.
But if you can protect him, he can do this. I still don't think they ran the ball enough, Skip. They was getting 8, 5, 9, 10 yards a clip.
Yep.
But Andy just loves the story, Skip. It's just in him, Skip. Yeah, I just give up. He gonna run it just enough so Patrick Mahomes can get his homeboy arm can get a little rest.
Yep.
But he gonna go back to throwing it again.
They had 94 yards rushing. Edwards-Helaire is supposed to be back for the Cowboys.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to give Patrick Mahomes, my homeboy, to you, a business as usual B. I'm going to give him a B because he did have a QBR of 83. It wasn't exactly Dak's 93, but it felt like a bounce back B performance. And what I did like about it was, A, they did protect him, but B, he took his checkdowns far more than I've seen in any other game this year.
Williams.
When it was time to, Williams.
Running back. He had 100 yards receiving.
He had 9 targets. So Kelsey had 10 and Tyreek had 10. So he had 9 targets. So obviously a lot of those were what you would call a dink or a dunk, a check down. He dinked and he dunked on cue to Kelsey, who then ran with the ball like a demon.
Right.
That man, when he turns, if he sees a crease,
he hit it.
He's like a running back, man. And So I'm going to give you all the above. He played a little more careful with the ball until the dagger drive, when I thought he started to get away with things that the last 3 weeks he hasn't gotten away with. But the dagger drive it started late third quarter. If we could see the first play in the drive, it was almost intercepted.
Oh, yeah.
If we could see that, I think we have it. Not sure.
It was like right there on the goal line, wasn't it?
No, I mean, this is the first play of the drive, and he throws it, and
that's Kelsey just dropped that one.
Kelsey dropped that one. There was one where Jonathan Abram got his hand on the ball. I thought that one. Yeah, okay. Let's go to a 3rd and 7 play from the 47, which is another one that was almost intercepted. If we could see this, please. Not sure we have. Yeah, we got it. Okay, this is the 3rd and 7 on the same drive, and he wings it. That was the one to Tyreek. Okay, that was the one to Tyreek on the out and up, Skip.
Okay. He got him.
Okay. And then the throw of the night by Kansas City Chief was not by Mahomes. It was by Tommy Townsend, the punter. And you want to talk about throwing a strike? It was a good call.
It is.
I give it. This is a fake punt. And he just stepped right up and threw a strike.
Skip, I don't really know what you can do about that, because you're thinking, you're the gunner. The gunner's out there, you trying to hold him up, Skip, and he takes off running, so you think he's trying to get you, and he just stops. Yeah, to Marcus Kemp, just a kid undrafted out of Hawaii, and that ended up being the game breaker, but then this is it. So now it gets to be 3rd and 11 at the 38, and what does Mahomes do? He does a Mahomeboy play, and he shouldn't have gotten away with it, but he did. So they got... Oh, yeah, this was the one should have got picked right here. He runs through the pressure, and he's almost to the line of scrimmage. And that is, Jonathan Abrams should have caught that ball. Well, 25 had one on the play before that, Skip, that he had it. And that was the one that I was thinking of. Yep. And here he is, and... That was almost like the play he threw last year to Travis Kelce to beat him. And I did not know that Darrell Williams had that in him. I did not either. He did. And he brought it down, and he brought the house down, because there were a lot of Chiefs fans in the house. You're thinking like I'm thinking, Skip. Yeah. I'm thinking, look, running backs can catch, but catching the ball on a swing pass or catching the ball on the screen is different than catching the ball 25, 30 yards down the field. Yeah. Because now you got to jump up and high point the foot, because he had to high point the football. Okay. It's not a swing pass out of the backfield. It's not a screen where the guy's just throwing he from me to you and catching the football. That was a heck of a play right there. It was a heck of a play, and I will give you this. I was concerned when the game ended. I got a little queasy because it felt like the Chiefs found themselves a little bit on both sides of the ball. Again, the Raiders got exposed last night. They look more pretender than contender. Yeah, but Carr threw some stuff up, Skip. Come on, he threw some stuff up. I mean, he had 2 picks that should have. I don't know what he was thinking. Yeah, and there was another one he just threw straight up in the air that landed in the middle of everybody. I don't know what you're doing. But the point is, here come the Cowboys off what I thought was a statement game. We are back. This is a blip. This was an aberration. Vic Fangio is full of it. You can have your blueprint and shove it where the sun don't shine. And here we go to Kansas City. So this is going to be a huge test live on national TV on Fox. We got it. And we got it. And I think we got it because I think the Cowboys can go win this game because they're just going to have to be a little better on offense than Kansas City. You're going to need to be in the 30s. You're going to have another game like what you had yesterday. Yep. You're going to need to be in the 30s or 40s to win this game because I think they can put... Now, if you can pressure Mahomes, now it becomes a lot more difficult to do minus Randy Gregory. It does. But, I'm sure Dan Quinn will try to come up with a scheme and try to confuse him and try to get Micah Parsons. And, you had some guys yesterday show up to put pressure on the quarterback that we don't normally see. So I'm going to give you guys... Armstrong brought it. Yeah. He's been out. Well, he's been happy because Kansas, they did a number on Texas. So, he's like, okay. Okay, we got this. Yeah. It's time for Micah Parsons to put his hand in the dirt on any second, third down. Yeah, I would rather have him do that, Skip. I don't really want him trying to cover tight ends and backs down the field. I want him as close to the line of scrimmage as I possibly can. I want him to do his little thing. Go get the quarterback, son. Yep. Go put the quarterback on the ground, and when you get the quarterback on the ground, you've done a great thing. Yep, because I thought Max Crosby would pressure Mahomes last night a little bit. He could not touch him. They play dumb football. Yep. Skip, I tweeted last night, how the hell does the Raiders jump off sides and Kansas City hadn't even lined up yet? They walk into the line of scrimmage, about to get in the stands, and somebody jumps offside. How? They blow the whistle. Max Crosby has the guy. He picks the guy and throws him down. Going on. I'm like, dude, they jumping off. I was like, oh, my God. Mm-hmm. But that's the Raiders. Mm-hmm. The Raiders going to do Raiders thing. They did.
So you better hope that the Cowboys do Cowboy things. I'm hoping, right?
Even if they don't, if they do not put Mahomes on the ground, 400. Might go 450.
Really?
I might go 450.
Really?
Yep.
Would you like to do an early case on that?
We got plenty of time. We got this thing got to build. We got to build this thing to a crescendo. And then the day denouement happens on Sunday at 4:25.
4:25 Eastern.
Yeah. It won't be long.
Can't wait.
It won't be long.
Yep, we got this.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you got this.
Cowboys are back. You can say Mahomes is back, but you better
hope
he's back in the saddle.
Skip, you know if Mahomes is back, y'all not finna see them. So you better hope he isn't back.
My quarterback makes more money than your quarterback.
No mercy. This week on Thursday Night Football, Mac Jones leads the Patriots to Atlanta to battle Matt Ryan and the Falcons. It all starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Well, New England has won 4 straight, heading into that one as they throttled Baker Mayfield and the Browns 45-7. Mayfield threw an interception and was just 11 for 21 for 73 yards. He left the game early with a knee injury, but expects to be able to play next week. So, Shannon, what % of the blame does Baker deserve here?
You know, Skip, in honor of my victory, which I told you. So I ain't one of these guys. Skip, I'm really not a guy to say I told you so. But I figured I'd bring a little something to celebrate here with today. As you can see, this is the first time that people will have gotten an opportunity to see. Nice little packaging. When it's coming to my homeboy, you know, my nephew, you know, got 23.
To celebrate?
Yeah, my nephew got one. LeBron, Kelsey got 87. Griffey Jr. got 24. I'm gonna give Baker Mayfield as much blame as Skip Bayless gave him credit last week in that victory.
Now 41-16 at Cincinnati.
Yeah. No Odell. But I forgot Odell did leave some clothes in his car. Hadn't made it to L.A. yet, so that stench is still there.
Okay.
Now, I tried to tell you last week, I said, well, Skip, how much credit are you going to tell me the defense is going to get 3 turnovers, one of them being a pick 6? Or are you going to tell me Chubb is going to run the ball for 10 yards a carry, and they're going to run the ball for damn near 200 yards every week?
Yep.
Oh, Baker. This is what we know. When Baker Mayfield teams gets outrushed by, I think it's 50 yards, Steve, and I was looking up the stat. Do you know he's 0-14? Average margin of victory is 27 points in defeat. That's Baker Mayfield. What I've told you, he's a complimentary piece. First rounder, being selected first overall does not make you elite. Even though you won a Heisman and even though Skip Bayless banks on you, believes in you. He was awful. And Jenny said he left the game with knee and hip. Before he left the game, they were down 31-7. So I don't want people to think this game got out of hand once Baker left the game. It was out of hand. 45 unanswered points. Let me take that back. I take it back. I misspoke. 31 unanswered points after they took the lead. Mac Jones comes back, scores a touchdown, and what does Baker Mayfield do on the very next series? Throws a horrible interception.
It was horrible.
If,
I agree.
If Duggar doesn't pick it up, I think it was Duggar, might have been Duggar. 23 picked it off, but if he didn't pick it off, the corner was going to drop out. It was. I'm like, what are you seeing? What are you looking at? He was terrible. He deserved as much blame for this loss as you gave him credit in their win, 41-16. You won last week, 41-16. You got the doors blown off you, 45-7 yesterday. So whatever amount of credit you gave him, assess blame.
Well, that's for you to say, not for me to say. Now it's my turn.
It's your turn.
So I'm going to do just as I did with the Brady loss at Washington. I'm going to give the quarterback 35% of the blame, but I got to give the defense 45% of the blame because here's what happened. Baker Mayfield takes the opening kickoff and goes boom, boom, bing, bing, bing right down the field and scores the 7-0 touchdown. On a 4th and goal play from the 2, if we could see what he did, he threw it to Austin Hooper. That'll work. Looked pretty good to me. Well, that was a good throw. Austin Hooper double caught it, but he caught it. So all of a sudden it's 7-0. And then what does Mac Jones and company do? They managed to go 83 yards in 15 plays to tie it up.
Okay.
Then came the horrible interception. I give you this. But guess what happened after that?
What happened after that?
Mac Jones and company go 99 yards in 11 plays. They go 92 yards in 8 plays. And they go 95 yards in 6 plays. I dare you to go find another game in which a team drove 3 times in a game over 90 yards, because you're not going to be able to find one, because it's historically great. 3 drives of over 90 after the first one was 83 and 15. So you play the basic game of keep away. Congratulations, New England. You won the game of keep away.
You know what?
Baker just didn't have the football.
So you gave him 35% of the blame. But this is what I didn't hear you say last week. The Browns defense took the ball away. The Browns defense sacked Joe Burrow. They got a pick 6. You didn't say that last week. All you talked about was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, but what did Myles Garrett say after the game? He called out his defensive coordinator, Joe Woods, saying, we did not make a single adjustment. 99 yards, 92 yards, 95 yards, no adjustments made.
Yeah, guess what? And I didn't see Myles Garrett make a single adjustment. 1 tackle, 1 sack, first quarter. So where was his adjustment?
I don't know.
No. So now you see, now when Joe Woods would put him in that situation, when Myles Garrett was sacking Fields, I didn't hear him utter a word about the defensive coordinator.
Okay.
You got your butt beat. What they were doing, Skip, they was motioning the wide receiver. They cracked N'Keal Harry, put him on his butt several times. The running back running the real route before he left, hit him in his rib.
I would too.
And so Myles Garrett was... so now...
And then they screened him a couple times.
Yeah, you want to come on in here. Come on here fast. So we open the door, Skip. We open the door and then slam it behind him. And then we go do what we want to do. But no. This is not about Myles Garrett. Don't try to distract me.
So,
this is about Baker Mayfield.
The Browns obviously have a 2-headed monster at running back. 2 of the best as a dynamic duo that there is in the league. And yesterday there was no Chubb and there was no Kareem Hunt. It's down to some kid named Dearness Johnson.
No. But last year, you told me Pro Football Focus graded Baker Mayfield over the last 11 games.
He did.
The third best quarterback in football. You didn't mention Nick Chubb. You didn't mention Kareem Hunt. You didn't. They got 3 offensive linemen. Pro Bowl offensive linemen. 2 of them just got paid.
So last year, Baker Mayfield, to my knowledge, was completely healthy. I did not know this, but he was listed on the injury report. I didn't see it, but they said he was with a foot injury last week, and he was limited. No. Wait a second. Foot injury last week. He came into the game with a fractured shoulder, and in that same shoulder is a torn labrum. And then in the third quarter yesterday, he hurt his knee. And I don't know how bad it is, but as Baker said, he's beat up after the game. He's beat all to hell.
You notice that? You know, everybody, people, y'all at home, y'all notice this? Now, y'all didn't hear anything about no labrum. Y'all didn't hear nothing about no broken shoulder last week when he hung 41 on Cincinnati. This week, no.
He sucked it up.
Now, guess what?
Gutted it out.
The Patriots just listed Mac Jones on the injury report. But he broke his foot off in Baker Mayfield butt. Wop, wop. Wop, wop. He on the injury report. Now, he's listed as doubtful for this week on a Thursday night game. No, Skip Bayless, I'm not going to let you do that. You just told me, you've told everybody
Mac Jones didn't even throw for 200 yards yesterday. Talk about dinking and dunking.
That's right. Hey, 45 points.
The final score was 34-26. That's time of possessions. 34 minutes to 26 minutes.
See, you count time. You count time, I make time count. There's a difference between you and I. You see what I did right there, Skip Bayless? But no, I just want to go back. I want to reiterate because I don't know if people. Skip Bayless told me that Pro Football Focus graded fourth best
over the last 11 games.
The last 11 games, right? In that grading process, you never mentioned Nick Chubb. You never mentioned Kareem Hunt. You didn't mention anything about the defense. Now, all of a sudden, there is no Chubb. There is no Kareem Hunt, which I told you is the only reason Baker can have success is because of that. Skip, I misspoke. Again, I apologize, people. I apologize. Baker Mayfield is now a 4-20. His team is 4-20 when his team is out rushed. He's 0-14 when they're rushed by 50 yards or more, and the average loss is 17, not 27. But still, unless they can run the football, he is a complimentary quarterback. He's not elite.
Okay. What happens to Dak Prescott when there's no Zeke and no Tony Pollard? He struggles. What happened to Tom Brady last year when he didn't have Fournette and he didn't have Rojo rolling?
Skip that.
Right? Everybody needs a run game. They all need it.
That's my homeboy.
Yeah.
Look at you, my homeboy.
He's at his best when they get 100 yards.
No. Mm-hmm. What you try to do is that you try to give all the credit when the team, when they were sacking, they had 9 sacks, and they had pick sixes, and they turning the ball over. Mm-hmm. All you talked about was Baker. Ping, Peoples-Jones. No Odell. He doesn't have to press. No, there was no Odell. Mm-hmm. No Odell was 3,000 miles away in sunny California. Yep. Now I need you to tell me why Baker Mayfield put that on. Why he put that cow manure, horse manure.
He's beat all to hell. And they didn't have Greedy Williams, their corner, and they didn't have Tack McKinley to rush the passer. And it was a long day. And New England is on fire. I give you that. And I said that Mac Jones would go 10-7, and he's on course to go 10-7.
No, he's on course to go better than that.
We'll see.
He's going to go better than that.
Ways to go.
But who first guessed that?
First guessed what?
Who first guessed Mac Jones?
Okay. Like you first guessed Sam Darnold?
No, do that.
Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield. That's what you said before the draft. I'll take Sam Darnold #1. Really?
Okay. You make it seem like, guess what? If they redrafted, they taking Lamar Jackson. They taking Josh Allen. All those guys. And you still want to admit both of those guys are better than Baker Mayfield. Say it right now. Are they better than Baker Mayfield? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
I'll give you Lamar. That's all.
This man said Baker Mayfield's better than Josh Allen.
I don't know about it. I haven't seen it yet from Josh Allen. I need to see it. I don't need to see the Jets.
What? Whoa.
Before he lit up the Jets, what was happening to Josh Allen.
I just want to know what you've seen from Baker Mayfield. Take the running game away.
I told you, last year, graded 4th best over the last 11 games. Won a playoff game against the Roethlisberger Steelers at Pittsburgh.
And can you tell the people at home what the defense
same Steelers who were 11-0 last year.
How many turnovers did the defense create?
Well, you got to have some defense.
Oh, no. You got Baker.
Yeah.
You got Baker. Why you need? Come on. No, I'm not going to let you do that.
You got to get the ball back from Mac Jones.
You got it back.
198 yards.
Okay, with Mac Jones, Baker turned the ball over, made it 14-7. They kicked the ball off to Cleveland. What did the Browns do? See, the thing I love about football and basketball, Skip, it's not like pool. See, in pool, you shoot pool, Skip. You played pool before. You shoot pool, I pocket the ball, I keep shooting. That ain't how you do it in the NFL. I score, I kick the ball up to you, you get a chance to score. So what Baker playing shooting pool or what? I mean, what's going on, Skip?
Do you know how hard it is to drive at 83, 99, 92, and 95 yards? Do you know how many third downs you have to convert? Yeah.
Do you know how hard? Do you know how hard it is to get beat 45-7? I want to know what the quarterback was 11-21.
Yep.
Now you remember last week the man had 21 throws. He had 2 or 3 touchdowns. You was over here doing cartwheels. I was doing push-up, one-hand push-up.
Well,
you doing one-hand push-up. Now look at you.
Yep.
He ain't had the ball.
Well, that was a division rival, so I would say the Browns are still afloat. You saying they're done?
Afloat. I know something else that
write them off? Yeah.
But hold on, 1 for 11 on that. Hold on. I know Baker Mayfield wasn't no 1 for 11 on third down, Skip Bayless. He better. 1 for 11?
You know, it's one that was a little tricky.
Are they done?
The way it ended.
Browns are done, says Shannon Sharpe.
I didn't think there you go.
Well,
no, you tried to write off. You tried to write off the Patriots.
I wanted to.
You said Coach Belichick, he done lost it.
No mercy. Returning to the Panthers in the stadium where he played his first NFL game, Cam Newton flashed back to his Superman days. The former MVP ran for a touchdown and threw for another score in limited backup snaps as the Panthers were all smiles during their 34-10 upset win over the Cardinals. So, Shannon, if Cam becomes the starter, how far can the Panthers go?
Skip, I think they can fight for a wild card spot. I mean, I got the Packers, Rams, Cards, Bucs, Cowboys. And now you got the Panthers, Vikes, Saints, all vying for that 6th and 7th spot.
Yep.
I think they can probably get an outside, get the wild card. A lot is going to be contingent on how healthy C-Mac stays, if he can stay healthy.
I agree.
He ran the ball really well yesterday, 37 carries, a buck 66 as a team.
But I saw him over there working on his hamstring.
On the football, yeah. That's the hard thing, Skip, is that once you have one of those things go during the season, it's kind of hard to get it back because what? You got to run. You got to keep bursting. And so if they can keep him healthy, Chuba Hubbard, like I said, they ran the ball well. P.J. Walker did a good job. But I think he's just holding it until they can get Cam caught up. because I do believe Cam is better, would give them a better chance of getting to the playoffs. But Skip, I think they can be that 6th or 7th seed. Right now, this is between the Panthers, the Vikes, and the Saints, all fighting for that spot. But I think the Packers, Rams, Cards, Bucs, and Cowboys, if I had to say, I'm saying those guys are definite, with somebody, two of the other spots coming from Panthers, Vikes, or Saints.
Okay. What I saw yesterday stunned me because I saw Cam Newton in presence alone completely re-energize the whole franchise, it felt like. He revitalized everything that was teetering with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Right. I'm not a Sam Darnold fan.
Right.
I don't like his charisma level. It's low to me.
Right.
Cam has as high a charisma level as we've ever seen in pro football.
It seems like they're moving on from Sam Darnold, too.
I think they're moving on from Sam Darnold. So the point was, in 2 little plays, which were huge plays,
yes.
2 short little plays, both of them resulting in touchdowns, it felt like a liftoff, a rebirth for the Carolina Panthers. I've never seen anything quite like it, but that's what Superman can do when Superman goes home. He's not an old man. He's a middle-aged man, as quarterbacks go. So he's not old by any stretch. He had a great early stretch under Belichick, which shocked me because it's hard to play for Coach Belichick, especially when you're equipped the way
Cam is.
Like Cam
he's already developed.
You're already there, man, and you got to be Cam. You got to be Cam. And Belichick says, no, you got to do this. And he tried. And if he hadn't gotten COVID, I thought he was on a pretty good roll.
I thought so too.
Because that game at Seattle on that Sunday night early, that was spectacular.
I think the thing for me, Skip, is that I don't believe, and you nor I believe, they should have cut Cam.
No.
But we both get why they did, considering you bring in a new coaching staff, you bring in a new regime, and you want your voice to be the loudest voice in the locker room. Cam has been there for a decade. His voice was going to be the largest voice.
And now it is again. Whether you like it or not, it just happened.
Because you've had Sam Darnold, you've had Teddy Bridgewater, you've had Allen. So, but Skip, the thing for me is that Mac Jones has played well. People automatically assume because Mac Jones played well that Cam couldn't play.
Yep.
2 things can be true.
No,
Mac Jones could have played well, deserved to be the starter, and Cam Newton still should have been in the NFL, even though it may not have been with the New England Patriots.
Yep.
So 2 things can be true. I still believe Cam got some good football left in him.
He does.
And I believe if he can get up on this playbook, I believe they have an outside chance. I believe they can be the 6th or the 7th seed, and I think it's going to come between the Panthers, Vikes, and the Saints for those final 2 playoff spots. I don't see anybody, Skip, way down there that's going to come up out of, spring up out of the 49ers. Could they possibly spring a trap if they were to beat the Rams and get right back in this thing? Maybe, but I don't see that happening.
I've always liked P.J. Walker. I liked him at Temple. I liked him in the XFL. He's got electricity in him.
Right.
And he has poise. He is a playmaker.
Right.
But he's not Cam Newton.
Right.
And I'm sorry, once you go there, once you go back to Cam has to be the starter.
Right. Oh, yeah. Once they make that move, Skip.
I think it has to be sooner than later, and now you have an opportunity against, your old coach who coaches Washington now coming up.
Right.
So I'm going to guess Cam's going to be the starter next Sunday. I know it's a lot because it's a brand new, all the terminology is different.
Right.
It's Joe Brady. It's completely different than what he used to know. But they have playmakers.
Right.
I've told you, DJ Moore coming out of that draft, he was my favorite receiver. And if C-Mac can stay barely healthy, it just gives them an option. And I always liked Chuba Hubbard when he was at Oklahoma State. So you have a nice array of weapons to complement him. And then don't sleep on that defense. They're 6th in points allowed. They're 2nd in yards allowed. They're tied for 4th in sacks. It's pretty good.
I was disappointed with how poorly the Arizona Cardinals defense played yesterday. I thought they would generate more pressure than what they got yesterday. Chandler Jones is back, and I understand J.J. Watt is not there. But, Skip, their front 7 was pretty good. And they did absolutely nothing. I mean, zero sacks. I mean, Walker was 22 or 29.
All right, so all of a sudden, Carolina just took off. And I'm going to remind everybody, the GOAT is struggling, as you have pointed out repeatedly in this show. That's 2 losses in a row for Brady. And in that division, I thought he had 2 gimmies at the end of the year. The second to, his third to last and last game are Carolina games. So they haven't played Carolina. Well, guess what Cam is lifetime against Brady? He's 2-0.
Yeah, but they still got another game against the Falcons. I don't know if the Saints are going to have that. I don't know, but for whatever reason, the Saints get up for the Bucs. and Tom Brady. Maybe whatever Sean Payton is doing during the course of that week, he might need to bottle that and bring it and sprinkle it in and bring it with him everywhere. Because it seems to me, Skip, when they play the Bucs, they play at a different level.
Except in the playoffs.
Well, they had that game going, and then the fumble and then 4 turnovers.
Okay, but I would like my chances a lot better with Cam against Brady in 2 of the last 3 games as opposed to Sam Darnold or even PJ.
I would be very surprised if over the next, say, month, Cam is not the starting quarterback.
Well, I'm going to say it's coming right down the track.
You think it happens next week?
I think it could. It's going to put a lot on his plate because it's a lot to digest. Right. But if you simplify and just let Cam be Cam, I think he's going to play.
No mercy. Tonight on FS1, the Gavitt tip-off games begin as 2 elite conferences go head-to-head. First, number 11, Illinois, faces Marquette. Then Providence takes on Wisconsin. Catch all the action tonight starting at 7 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. So Tom Brady threw 2 picks as Tampa lost 29-19 against Washington, their 2nd straight loss after they fell to Trevor Siemian and the Saints before the bye week. The Bucs are now 6-3, which is only the 5th best record in the NFC. Things have changed. Shannon, are the Bucs done as Super Bowl contenders?
Come on, Shannon.
No, they're not done.
They're not done?
But Skip,
you spoke like they were done.
No, I did not. I just didn't see them as the prohibitive favorite like you've been speaking about the entire season. And I've said that. I saw some things in the first game that caused you to be alarmed. You saw that Dak Prescott threw for over 400 yards. They didn't look like the same defensive unit that we saw down the stretch over the last 4 or 5 weeks of the regular season and throughout the entirety of the playoffs. We didn't see what we saw then. And so that was concerning to me, Skip. And it hadn't gotten better. I mean, we've seen more times than not, teams move the ball at will against this defense, where teams struggle down the last half of the year moving the ball against this defense. Tom, he's not playing as well as he did down the stretch. Now, he had games against, bad teams where he put up, play in Chicago, throw 5 touchdowns to this team, but in a situation, you got to keep the games close. You can't let him go or let this offense go run and hide. And so that's what the Washington football team has done. That's what the Saints did. And so, yeah, Skip, I don't think they're the prohibitive favorite. Right now, I would say they're the 4th or 5th best team in the NFC. I don't think they're better than the Packers. I don't think they're better than the Rams. I believe if Arizona gets Kyler Murray and D-Hop back, I believe they're better than they are, and I'll let them and the Cowboys fight it out who's 4th and who's 5th. But right now, they're not the prohibitive favorites, which you said they were from this time to see. Last year, as soon as they started the parade, they're the favorites. They're the prohibitive favorites, and no, they're not.
Prohibitive. I just said they're the favorites. Who did Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe predict before the season would represent the NFC in the Super Bowl?
I said Tampa.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
And now you're completely off the bandwagon.
No, how did I get...
Just a week ago, just last week, you said that Tom Brady, maybe by default, was still leading the MVP race.
Yes.
And now he's a dog who should go home and retire.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
But is he the overwhelming MVP? You said he was the overwhelming.
No, I just said he was leading the race.
So is he still leading?
I thought Lamar had closed the gap, and then last Thursday, Lamar didn't close the gap.
And then Matthew Stafford, and then he had Tennessee. And then Tom Brady was leading, and then he had Washington.
Okay. I believe that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers have you right where they want you, right here, right now, because they are still poised for takeoff. It's simply a matter of the injury gods. Please let there be Tampa Bay, because they're going to have to bless this team with a little more health than it's had. Because if AB and Gronk come back, those are the 2 favorite targets of Tom Brady.
But Skip, how many Super Bowls has he won without AB? How many Super Bowls has he won without Gronk? But you never get, hold on, when he's winning all those Super Bowls, you didn't mention those tight ends. You don't mention those receivers. It's all Tom. No, when he lose, now he needs Gronk.
From the start, those are his 2 favorite targets. And he has no deep speed without Scotty Miller and AB.
Skip, he never had deep speed until he had Moss.
With those 2, you got deep speed. You got legit deep speed. Scotty Miller can fly. He ran 4.3.
Scotty Miller's a guy, Skip.
He runs past people. Think
about
right
what you just
left.
said. You said the GOAT needs a guy.
Okay, well, you need one guy who can at least keep them honest. They just sit on Mike Evans and Godwin because they're possession receivers. They don't have any separation quickness.
So when he's winning all, with the exception of Moss, which he didn't win with, tell me the receiver that he had with deep speed.
Okay, well, obviously, slowly but surely, Belichick just let the cupboard go completely bare in New England till they were at the bottom of the barrel in separation.
Even when it was grocery store field stock, shelf stock, he didn't have guys that could take the top off the coverage, Skip.
Okay, and at defensive back, you have to have Carlton Davis. He's your best corner, and I think Sean Murphy-Bunting might have been your second best corner, and they're hurt. And I don't know if they're coming back or not.
I'm surprised with that dislocated elbow. I'm surprised that he's been gone that long.
Okay, and Richard Sherman got signed, and I thought he did pretty well. He just plays with his head now.
Right.
That's fine with me. And he pulls his calf in the pregame warm-up yesterday. But
Skip,
dreaded calf.
But what happened, Skip? He tweaked the hamstring.
Yeah.
Skip, it's hard to get up off your couch and go play professional sports, Skip.
Yeah, no,
the man was sitting at home.
Okay, so here comes down the pike the New York Football Giants. It's a Monday night game at Tampa, but the Giants played the heck out of them. Remember, it was 25-23 at New York last year on a Thursday night.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And the Giants, three of the last 4 games, they've been pretty good.
Right.
So they're a threat. Then it goes at Indy, at Atlanta.
Indy's going to be tough.
I know, Indy's going to be tough. And then the Bills is a big home game.
Bills is going to be tough.
Okay, and then the Saints, you just say the Saints just play the hell out of them, and they just do. So that's going to be a Sunday night game. And then now Cam's at Carolina, and you got Carolina 2 of the last 3.
Sandwiched in between 2 of the last 2 games.
And the Jets should be the one gimme in the middle of that. So there's only one real gimme. Maybe the Giants should be, but I think the Giants went to Kansas City the other day and what was it, 20-17?
Yeah,
okay.
They played them tough.
Okay, so again, Tom Brady has been challenged, and you were in trouble.
I mean, I'm just saying Trevor Siemian and Taylor Lott.
Yeah. No mercy. Guys, after all the discussion and debate, Odell Beckham Jr. is expected to make his Rams debut tonight against the 49ers. And Fox Bet Sportsbook has set his over-under for receiving yards at 40.5. Shannon, does he go over or under?
I'm going over. I'm going to say you go over and have a tub tonight.
Really?
Yeah, Skip, because I think the thing is, I know he's only been there for a couple of days, but it's out of necessity now, Skip. There's no Robert Woods, so there's no easing in, dipping your toe in the water like, ooh, that's cold. Nah, bro, you got to go on and plunge in this thing, and it's probably going to be 30 degrees, so get on up in it and make it happen.
Sure you won't wind up in the tub after the game?
Yeah, he's going to be sore. He's going to be sore because he's been away from the game for a minute.
Correct. I believe that Odell will have his moment in the L.A. sunshine tonight at SoFi Stadium because Sean McVay is a showman, and I believe he's going to feed the football early and I think often to Odell, so I think he'll go considerably over 40.5. I got him 6 catches for 75 yards, but I do not expect this to continue.
The game's in SoFi or in Levi Stadium? Don't they play in 49ers?
I don't even know. Is it which way is it?
Actually, I should know.
I think it's in Levi.
Oh, is it Levi? I was thinking
yeah.
Levi.
Yeah.
Well, I'll still say.
So 6 for 60.
6 for 75.
Oh, wait,
any touchdowns?
Tomorrow will be interesting. Skip Shannon will be back to be all over it tomorrow. The Herd's on now. Have a good one. Undisputed.